Man, what's up?
Hey guys! Thanks for taking my call. And it's
What's
nice
up?
to meet you, Mr. Rick. Hey,
Hey, man, how you doing?
I've been losing sleep over this deal, and
Uh-oh.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying
I
to get
know.
out of it now.
I
I
didn't
made a
tell you
lot of
about
mistakes
this.
on this
I
deal.
didn't. I'll give you the heads up. He gave the seller's EMD of $2,000
Yeah, it's gonna
to
bite
the
me.
seller. To the seller, 2 grand.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, we okay. Wait, I'm just saying we went over it yesterday.
Okay.
You know, it's been so we
I
got to
got
help We got to help him
Let's
out
see
with
if we can
this.
unwind it.
So what's is this the situation that deal?
Yes, it's So just to make sure, if the buyer, the seller, and the title company all have to adhere to the purchase and sales agreement, like everybody has to follow it to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so say a title company that doesn't do assignments took a purchase sales agreement that does assignments, they still have to do the assignment, right?
As long as the contract's assignable, yes.
Yes. Okay, so this title company that we're using doesn't want to do assignment at all. They
They
only
don't.
took they at first they
Yeah.
did the right thing and refused the contract,
Okay.
but the seller was persistent with them and they had a long-term relationship, so
Yeah.
they allowed this one time to do the contract, but only um to double close, or I'll find a buyer and they'll just terminate the contract with me, put it with a
Okay.
new seller, and I get paid on the back end. It has complete trust with the seller. Like, this is a very riskful one.
You know what that's called, the one you just explained there, right there, right?
I I don't know.
It's called a novation.
Wait, that's an novation agreement?
So an innovation
point.
it's the canceling of one contract to replace it with another. That's all innovation
Yeah.
is. Everyone's got like these. I know what's his name's going out there throwing the like the brewer method, stuff like that. I'm just telling you, innovation is not a contract. It's just a replacement of one contract with another. But go ahead.
Okay, so right now the title company lost me a buyer. It's been a month since they had the contract, and they were trying to figure out a way so they could do this without putting me on the contract. So they don't,
Okay.
because NAR is the reason they don't do assignments, because NAR came to them and they say don't do that anymore. Don't do assignments, and they stopped doing assignments completely.
Wait,
Like
what
a month,
state are you in?
Louisiana.
Okay. I don't know what influence NAR has over an individual title company.
Well, like a month before we did this deal,
Mm-hmm.
I called them and asked if they do assignments, and they did at that time. But when
Okay.
I brought the purchase and sales agreement to them, at that moment they did not do it anymore because NAR hounded them and they stopped doing it completely with anybody.
Well,
So
I'm just here to tell. It's not NAR. NAR does not have the power to tell a title company what they can or cannot do. The only person that can tell them is the person that owns the title company. They can make a decision not to do it, or their underwriters for the insurance company says they won't do it. That's it.
okay.
So
So,
you're getting an excuse, just so you understand the difference between the two. NAR is not a policing agent. They can only police realtors. That's it, and it's
okay,
all
so
civil, not criminal.
okay.
So
So
you need help. So where are you at of this? Do you need to get out of the contract?
I
I
need
mean,
to get out of the contract because it's heavily favored the seller.
okay.
He took out my inspection period at, like the to safely get out of the inspection period. I
Why
lose the
would you agree to
deposit.
any of this?
I'm sorry.
Why would you agree to any of that?
I was in a slump for about 3 months, and I was really desperate for a deal.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you don't get desperate enough where you're in a deal that you can't wholesale and then you lose your money.
so your contract has no inspection period in it.
It has an inspection period, but it doesn't do anything. Kind of like I'm not able to back out, or I'm not able to get my EMD back.
You're just getting taken advantage of at this point.
Yes.
So guys, let me point out the lesson to be learned here, and I'm not trying to make an example of you. You never ever let the seller dictate the title company for
you should
this
have asked
specific
us.
reason.
Vent, you're hopping on. You should have hopped on when the seller's asking all this stuff. I could have helped.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to have someone that looks. Everyone goes, well, the title company is a neutral party. I'm here to tell you they're not.
No.
Whoever picks them, that's like you pick your friends, right? Like you got certain friends, like you know what to expect.
Yes.
You are a visitor going to the home court, and you are in a non like friendly title company. I'm here to tell you, either sit down with the seller and ask them for the money back, because the title company is useless at this point. Would you agree?
Yes, but
Okay,
I
so
think
here's
I
what.
have. Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
You first. I'm sorry.
The problem is it's not a ton of money, but it's enough to pay attention. Here's what I do in your situation. I would go meet with the seller and then just unwind the thing. Just ask them nicely
Yeah.
and give your money back. I'll help you try to sell like whatever you got to do to help them out and move on,
Yeah,
because
and-
they're the only person that's going to give you the money back. Because
Yeah.
I don't, how did you, the $2,000, did you leave it with the title company or you gave it to the seller?
To the seller.
I already told. So here's the thing, man. You gotta go to the seller and say, hey, I gotta back out of this. I need my EMD back. Now you have two options now. You actually have three. You do that and you contact the title company, right?
Yeah.
And you hope and pray that they're sweet enough that they'll give it to you, that they'll give it back to you. Number three, this is gonna suck, but you're probably gonna have to hire an attorney to just help you get it out. And you'll probably be able to.
Who advised you to give the deposit straight to the seller? Was it the seller or the title
The
company?
seller. I was really
I-
desperate for a deal.
We can go around this a
Yeah.
million ways.
Here's
I
the
bet.
problem. For you to hire an attorney, it's going to cost you more than the actual deposit.
That's the problem.
So if you just want to cut to the chase, I just try to work with the seller. Honestly, if it's not going where you need to do it, this is where I would say, listen, you can keep 1,000, give me 1,000 back. I'll move on with my life.
not yet, do the 2,000 first.
Yeah,
Like,
ask for the 2,000 and just let them know that you're going to be hiring an attorney and you're going to like look into it. And I'd also let the title. I don't know, man. I might go over to the title company and go, listen, I think you guys are a little bit liable in this transaction. You've given me some pretty bad advice to this point.
or you have to double close it like that. That could be forced too.
If you can double close it, is it a good deal? That's the
I
other
only make
question.
$5K out of it.
Yeah, double close, you ain't gonna make 5K.
I know. So it's like, oh my.
I would
gosh.
try to just work with the seller, to
Yeah,
be
get
honest
that
with you.
EMD back and just do the right thing next time and listen.
And
to
you
our
got to
advice.
ask a lot more questions with the title companies. And guys, don't ever let the seller dictate the title company.
I was thinking of forcing the title company to end the contract for us. As
It's-
in, I'll tell, since they don't do assignments
Nobody
and on the
cares, man. It's the EMD that's the only thing that really matters. Like
Yeah.
the contract's like a mute point. That EMD is the only thing that's stopping you really.
Because there's no like
Your
there's-
risk is the EMD.
there's no suing because you don't have an agreement
Yeah.
for the EMD anywhere. Like there's nothing.
And
Because
to a-
if
man,
you sue, the seller's going to like, okay, we'll follow through on your contract and sell it. Do you think they want to sell the house? Yes or no?
Yes, they do want to sell the house.
Okay.
here's the thing in EMD, the contracts, it shows where the escrow is being held at. Like it boggles my mind how this happened because first of all, if you use our contract, which we tell everyone to use at freewholesaling.com, the EMD is sent to title. It says it specifically there. So technically your contract, I don't know what whose contract did you use?
Your channel's contract.
Did it say that the seller gets the EMD on it?
No.
No, so I don't know why you sent it. We can go in a million ways around this, man. You gotta get that EMD back. Your risk on these contracts is always losing your EMD.
Yeah.
What about getting sued
Getting sued?
for not performing on this contract?
You
Wow.
could get sued, but
that's something. Listen, I'm not here to like harp on it. This is stuff you've got to
There's no
figure out before
damages,
you
though.
enter into an agreement. So they're most likely. I don't think there'd be a lot of damages because the house is easily
no,
sellable.
you don't get sued unless you have because we all have inspection periods we can get out of. The issue is you sign something with inspection period you couldn't get out of. So this is how you get sued when you write bad contracts like this.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you did that. So the best way to unwind this is just get out of the contract, ask them politely, and get your EMD back. That's all we can tell you right now.
And to be honest with you, like I know 2,000's a lot, but honestly, if you ever been sued over a contract, it's a heck of a lot worse because you'll be spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to defend yourself. Sometimes, listen, ready for this? I once bought a business I had no business owning. I thought I could just buy cash flow. I tried for 6 months to do everything I could to make it work. I walked away from it. It was a lot of money. I just walked away from it. I said, I can't deal with this anymore. I went back and I just went like everything I could in real estate. And in 3 months, I made all my money back. And so it's like, sometimes you just gonna have to move on. You're gonna have to mitigate your damages and move on. At least it's not a $5,000 deposit. I wish it was like a $500 deposit.
Go get a $5,000 deal, and then
Yeah, I would. I don't think they're going to sue you because it's a lot of work to sue people and it would tie up their property. I would try to get a settlement of the release of the contract and some form of your deposit back.
it'd be very hard for them to sue you because, let's say this goes to court and everything, this will be in like 8 months. Property values probably are going to appreciate in 8 months. So there's like no damages, right?
Yeah.
Like the only damages I could ever see is like, this is 2006. We agreed to purchase your house for 500,000, and I ruined the whole deal, and now your house is worth 200. You could sue probably for that,
No.
but we're not in that type of situation right now. So dude, get the $2,000 back, get out of the contract.
Focus on your $2,000 first, then focus on getting out of the contract and just see where it works out from there.
Start calling today, man. You got to call today. The faster, the better.
Yeah. Every day that goes by, you're going to get deeper in the hole on it. So
my exit strategy, I was thinking of talking to the title company, telling them I want to assign this deal. They won't do it because for
Bro,
liability reasons.
Dude,
I know.
Get out of the contract.
Yes,
Get out of the
but
deal.
I'm trying to force the blame onto the title company. They lost me the buyer for not performing the work on it. They were supposed to figure out a way. It's been a month. They were supposed to figure out a way for us to work out this deal.
okay.
And
So
I
first of
contacted-
all, it's not up to your title company to like do your job. Sorry.
Yes.
You can never rely on it. Title company's job is to underwrite the title and make sure they have legitimate sellers and everything's above board. That's it. If you guys expect more of your title company, it's like they're limited in their capacity. Like
This is
talking
why
to
you vet
Daniel
your
before about,
buyers.
I had my title company comp it. They don't care if they're going to comp it. Like, honestly, you could technically take the contract to another title company. There's nothing forcing you to keep it there. Like, you have no earnest money
Or
deposit.
he had the seller told him to use that one.
Yeah. Well,
And so if you went through freewholesaling.com, man, like, get out of the contract. Like,
Get out of the
I'm
contract.
telling you, every day, if you try to go through this whole deal and then you can't find a buyer and then this title company screws you and you try to get out like the last day, the chance that seller's going to give you your money, they're going to be so mad they're not going to give it back. You have to go. I mean, what? You're in Louisiana, right?
Yes.
It's 5:34 there. Go call them right now and get out of it. Like,
Yeah.
you got to do it now.
man,
But can I get the title company to release the contract?
it's
It's
not
after
their job,
5, bro.
It's not their job.
It's
love.
not. It's an agreement between two parties.
A buyer
Title
and a
company
seller.
is the third party, man. You need to agree with the other party in this transaction, which is the seller. Van, you can do whatever you want, but we're telling you our advice in the situation.
Yes.
You can take it or not. You have not followed our advice starting out. We hope you take it now. Call the seller and get out of it. Get your EMD back.
Yes. Thank you. I'm
Do
so
that
sorry.
first,
It's just,
and then you can regroup and you can learn from it. It's not the end of the world. You got eager. You made a mistake. Like, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just don't compound your mistake. And like, this title company's not going to give you the time of day. Do not rely on them. You've tried. It hasn't worked. So you're going to have to go straight to the source. You're just going to have to eat a big thing of humble pie and figure out a way to use your rapport to connect with them, to make them feel bad, to at least try to get your whole deposit back, if not half of it.
And Van, come back next week. Let me know what happens. If it's been 3 months you haven't gotten a deal, you should have talked to me one-on-one. I would have 100% helped you and probably helped you out a lot.
yes, I'm sorry.
I tell everyone this. Don't come to me when you have to. Come to me before, like, you're desperate. This is what I always ask everyone.
It's like a lawyer. Don't wait
Yeah.
till you're getting sued.
Yeah, don't wait till the
Meet
worst
with them
possible.
and have a
Yeah.
proactive conversation to try to prevent it. But listen, I've made much worse mistakes, so it's not like
Me
the end of the
too.
world. It really, it's $2,000 you got on the line.
I
I
just
get
don't want
it.
to get sued, though. I don't care about the 2,000. I just don't want to get sued.
Okay, then go meet and have that
Get out of the
uncomfortable
contract.
conversation and
Yes.
just figure it out
If
right
you-
now.
If you get a verbal agreement from the seller to get out of it, you're not going to get sued either. So we're running in circles here, man. Go call them.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for the help. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Bye.
We say we're circling the drain.
I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know how many times we can
That's
say
tough.
this.
You guys, you
Well,
got to
it's-
use your title company
I feel
for
bad
that
for
reason
him,
alone.
but to a point you can't feel bad. Like, guys, we go through freewholesaling.com. Every single mistake that we tell you not to do, Van kind of did. And the truth is, if you're in a point right now where you're quote unquote desperate to get a deal, talk to me one-on-one. I will solve it.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you come to me one-on-one, I'll tell you the truth of what you have to do. Most people say, I don't want to do that. And that's what happens. So Here's the lesson on this. I've said it a million times. Never give the EMD to the seller. You have to use your wholesaling title company. That is number one. Use your wholesaling friendly title company. Freewholesaling.com. You have an amazing video on how to get the right title company there. EMD with the seller, right? Always need an inspection period. Always. If you're using our contract. Just, guys, it's when we give you a rule for wholesaling, we give it because we know what happens when you don't use that rule. You're in that situation. So rule number one, use our title company. Why? If you use your wholesale, if you don't use a wholesaling friendly title company, deal's dead.
And guys, this whole thing where it's like, well, I'm desperate. I've been in a slump. I'm here to tell you, man, I've done the exact same thing. Buying a property that you're overpaying for will only worsen your slump tenfold.